the moon is coming into conjunction with the sun tonight at 8:47 p.m. Pacific in the sign of Libra at 16 degrees. I'm rounding up 16 degrees Libra. And there are a few key aspects to this new moon. So this new moon cycle will be resonating through our experience from tonight until the following dark moon. And so the chart, the key aspects to this chart and to this, what we can even call it a wave spell of sorts. It's a cycle, it's a moon cycle, a wave cycle that we're moving into and that is being activated this evening Pacific time, making the adjustments accordingly in whatever time zone you're in. The new moon powerfully conjuncts the asteroid Ceres, the Roman goddess of agriculture, of the mother. She's Demeter to the ancient Greeks, and she's so much more. She's the mother. She is the cultivator. She is the provider. She is the provider of our needs. She taps us into our needs. And so there's something really important about getting clear about opening up to needs, opening up to the needs in relationship as well. Of course, I mean, we're in the sign of Libra, which, yes, it's relational, definitely a very relational sign. However, it's, you know, you in relationship to your relationships and the mutual empowerment, the creative fields that open up when your emotionality, when your passion, when your clarity, when your truth can be met and heard and received by another, and the power of you doing that for another as well, to release projections. This is a sign, definitely one of the signs of releasing, if not actually Libra, when it gets caught in its Libra-ness, gets caught up in projections. And it's caught in projections because it's caught in conditioning. So it's caught in old frameworks that need to be shattered, released, to really get to the underlying deep get to the underlying story, that it's really a story about insecurity and fear that is upholding the projections and over demands that we put on others, and really coming into a divine justice of rebalancing yourself. So it's really about your relationship with yourself, and then how you're relating to your relationships, because our relationships are avenues into what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and their opportunities as we get triggered by others, and to use these portals of opportunity to get really real and get out of blame programs and programs of patterns of disempowerment, as I spoke of in my Monday report that came before the new moon report. So this is a really powerful time of opening up to where I feel that with the conjunction to Ceres is and then because it's square Pluto, so those are two aspects. It's conjunct Ceres, the new moon, and then it's square Pluto. So these are the two very key aspects. There's other things happening in the new moon chart, but that right there, I feel like, as I spoke of in my Monday report, like opening up to deeper relational needs, to find sources of warmth through the activities that you want to encourage in your life, to participate in your life, to really form social circles around your arts, around activities that are healthy and that are brewing joy and vitality in the world. This Libra is a sign of vitality, of being ignited by other people, but you're being ignited by your inner flame. And when your inner creative flames can come together with other people, we can create a really warm, beautiful fire, and a fire of artistic realities. So it is a field of play, and may everything be, may this whole experience of whatever's being created, in the world and the earth, be underlying with a feeling of, it is work, but work can be play, and may your play be work, or may your work be play. I think that's a better way of putting it. And so it is that, Libra is a sign that wants to play. It wants companionship, and it wants emotional warmth. So I feel there's a healing, of healing our emotional body, healing our channels so that we can be in our relational alchemy, be in the power of it rather than the entanglement of it, because Libra is also a sign that gets entangled. So as you're unentangling yourself, this is a powerful month. I feel that if you're really working on yourself and turning towards this inner encounter and a deeper intimacy with yourself, it's going to open up this relational alchemy with the relational corridors of that are held with your, in your relationship to others, that are woven into your own sacred blueprint, your blueprint. And so it feels like it's energizing. The potential here is energizing. Feed the things that need to be fed in you. Go boldly where you need to go, boldly where you belong. The places that you claim your art, claim your life art, claim, go and do those things that you need to do, and create circles around them. And I'm thinking of dance classes. I'm thinking of anything creative, where you're coming together with other people, and I live in the land of plays, Shakespeare, and the people gathering together to create the play, and the performance and the living art forms. So living art forms, and where you can take that I feel like it's very powerful to really produce creatively, and especially in coming up with new ways of dealing with disappointment and sadness with what's happening. There's the Chiron in this new moon chart is at 30 degrees Pisces and retrograde. So I do feel there's this collective, there's a collective agonizing over the present and what's happening. And oh my God, I can't believe that. And this is happening, the emotional weight of it. This is still happening, and doing something about it instead of continuing to participate in that negatively, in the swamp, right? It's like, get out. That's where I feel like there's a real way to springboard. There's a springboarding into okay, this is what's happening, as I spoke about in my Monday report, but this is what's happening. And, I want to feed my life. I want to nourish my life. Ceres is a sign of nourishment. Pluto's the sign that has to do with deep transformation and a deep willingness to emotionally show up in powerful ways to your relationships. So that I feel there's a lot of potential for breakthroughs in authentic relating this month that are going to lead you into new waters and new territories and new creative ventures. That's really exciting. So powerful. This is the first new moon of the autumn season, and it's really kicking off the autumn season. And heading us deeper. One of the things too present with this new moon is that Jupiter's at the degree it went retrograde at. So it went retrograde earlier this year at 24 Scorpio, and it's now going to be it's at that degree for this new moon, and then it's going to be moving beyond. So there's a way in which this new moon and this time that we're in, this wave spell, I'll call it. I know that's sort of it's Mayan calendar lingo, but it applies with this moon wave, this lunar wave, is to really ride the waves of deep emotional transformation and possibility, and creating ways to emotionally uplift yourself and open up these positive these positive channels, positive participation. Because one of the realities here is that Pisces, and I wrote this down, I'm just going to read it. This is the sign journey Pisces. Pisces has no ability to be in separation, because Pisces is fully emotionally and subconsciously immersed in the deep waters of union. So when we're living in a time that's living out these ideologies of separation, that's where all the suffering is happening. So the more you can take care of yourself emotionally and come into healing relationships and healing places inside of yourself, and releasing the old story and coming into a new story, an empowerment story, an energizing story, is going to be extremely beneficial this month, this moon cycle. So watch for my full moon report. Much love.